Content warnings can be found in the description or in the chat. Enjoy the show.
It's summer break for the students of Mythos University, and our 6 mythical students and alumni have decided to vacation aboard the Norwegian cruise line in the land of Scandinavia. They will face their most difficult challenge yet: adulthood, making money, and deciding whether or not to fight against fate. Spunky Taylor as Nova, Daniel K. Hargrove as Kairos, Camera Connie as Evan, Meadow as V, Classic Sam as Shadoni, Taylor Hellstrom as Icarus, and Justin Gagliani as the Dungeon Master. Summer break has begun.
Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, I'm back. Oh, how long was I there? Oh shit. Hey gang, and welcome back to another episode of Mythos University Summer Break. I'm Justin Galliani. I'm going to be your dungeon master for the rest of this session. I use they, them pronouns. I'm joined today with an incredible cast of mythical players who are ready to tell this story with me. But I'm going to introduce our cast. So let's do it alphabetically, I guess. First up, we have Connie. She plays Evan, our favorite himbo. You can find Connie everywhere on the internet at Camera Connie. We have Daniel, who plays Kairos, our gravity-wielding wizard. You can find Daniel Hargrove everywhere at Daniel the DM. We have Meadow, who plays V, our lovely lagomorph, and you can find Meadow everywhere on the internet at Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM. Just remember that the G is part of GM. It's not the G at the end of Darling. I know that she would want you to know that. And we have Sam, our precariously employed princess. You can find them online at Classic Sam NYGM. We have Taylor, who plays Icarus, our smart and supportive aerial artificer. You can find him online at Soyouwannabeadm. We have a podcast together, actually. Go check it out. And last but certainly not least, we have Spunky Taylor, who plays Nova, our social climber and friend of Sharky, our favorite great white sort of flying shark who sometimes shows up and does incredible things. You can find her online at Spunky Taylor. So let's jump into it. Last we left off, our mythical students recovered from their battle against the Drogir, and then they destroyed their bodies even further with appetizers and alcohol, but don't worry. The ship did have Mydal. But what's this? The ship took some damage, and so Captain Brumigi had no choice but to dock the ship at the nearest port for repairs. As a result, the cruise's clientele had an impromptu excursion walking through the Myrkviðr, which was sponsored by H&M, which is nice. But the party found out that this was no ordinary forest. No. As they stumbled across a large raven with a clouded eye, and in that moment, all of their thoughts were broadcast out loud. And that's where we pick up. Now, I'm actually gonna shave really quickly, and then I'll be back. Just keep watching the show. We're back in it. So you guys are feeling everybody's, or rather hearing everybody's thoughts out loud. So obviously we're focusing in a little bit on V and Kairos in this moment, but this is happening to all of you. So I would love to hear also what other people are thinking in this moment that you might say out loud on accident.
That's a weird bird. Why is everybody laughing? It is a weird bird. Wait, did they? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh God. Did you say anything about the weird bird? And then in the Deku thought bubble.
Yeah, it's just the thought bubble.
Just
weird bird.
Oh, it's weird that we could hear that. I'm pretty sure I didn't see Evan's mouth move when he said anything or something like that. And like that's all, but it's all out loud. I've turned into the mumbly kid.
Yeah. Did Kairos just say that these eyes are pretty?
Yes, I did.
Your eyes are pretty.
Hear that? Okay, so I think we can all hear each other's thoughts.
Do we get telekinetics? Kinesis?
No, it's the other one.
Okay. No.
Telephone?
No one needs to know about this. No one needs to hear anything. In fact, we should all just keep thinking so fast that our
Telepathy, I
thoughts
think
can't
Telepathy!
keep up.
Yeah, that's
got you,
it.
buddy.
Telepathy.
Just don't let your thoughts catch up to you. That's all you gotta do. Just don't let your thoughts catch up and nothing bad will happen. All right. She can, like take 20 feet back. Just, like puts her out of this bubble at all. She's gonna start testing the boundaries, like trying to get out while just rambling in her head.
Hedoni's like, this is like the perfect time to like turn up the aura. I think Kairos needs some more aura. And she's gonna turn up her matchmaking love aura that she has just as the goddess of seduction, and just like, yeah, let's just turn it up because I need something else to think about. Yeah, that'd be better. And she's gonna crank it as high as she can.
As it enters the void that is his abnormal being, that's just like a constant aura of gloom that can never be shaken, just absorbs it.
Oh,
Kairos, you do notice that your pistol shrimp Philgia that is kind of circling around you, hovering in space, is kind of like a cat is like rubbing up against you and just kind of being incredibly cuddly in this moment, which is true for most of your Philgia. As Hedone amplifies her aura, your Hedone's black-footed cat is going in and out of her legs, constantly rubbing up against her. Evan's panda bear is doing the same and kind of just like grabbing its toes and rolling as a ball around, just being extra cute. The peregrine falcon is now extra poofy. It has landed on your shoulder at this point and is just poofing out its feathers and like rubbing up against you. The Galapagos tortoise is doing what everybody knows Galapagos tortoises do when they're amplified. That weird noise that turtles make.
Oh, V's booking it.
The tortoise is hot on your heels.
I know it is.
As you book
it's just like old times.
And Nova, you have this wolf with you. That same thing is acting almost in this quick moment, is acting like a puppy dog and is just being incredibly friendly and cuddly.
Nova doesn't notice. She's looking at her phone camera selfie as she's like, wow, I love myself.
It's so awesome.
Can Hedoni make a like I don't know if it would be intimidation or a performance to see like if everyone's like getting it, or if like some of everyone's
I would say an insight check actually.
Okay. Okay.
In there.
18 plus 4.
Disgusting 20. We love it.
No, at 22.
With
22
even
18 plus
grosser.
4.
I love it. Okay.
Even nastier.
With a 22.
Extra dirty. Extra dirty.
With a 22. You are able, I know Mac. You are able to suss out. You've experienced this before with Kairos.
Yeah.
It seems like him losing his chronomancy, or rather chronergy powers, that wasn't tied into what prevents him from being influenced in this way. And so you can tell that Kairos is unaffected.
If V has gotten out like a full 120 feet at this point, is she? Are her thoughts still out loud?
There does come a time as you are sprinting forward, your Galapagos tortoise barreling behind you so fast. Some might even say that you see rockets as it retracts its legs and rocket boosters come out of the thing. I'm thinking
You
of
son of a bitch! It's just like old times.
Yeah. As this tortoise is rocketing after you, you do eventually reach a point of the forest where I imagine, are you still like thinking out loud so that you can find that point?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And it is
So you
rambling. It's like,
do-
I just gotta find that point. All right, 80 feet out. All right, 90 feet out. All right, anytime now. Please stop hearing thoughts. Please, for the love of God. As I run.
You get to about 200 feet and you stop being able to hear your own thoughts out loud.
Bugs.
Is
Bugs,
anybody
skirt.
is anybody following V in this way, or are you guys kind of casually catching up?
Oh, I am running after my best friend.
Incredible. Incredible. Evan, you begin sprinting as well.
As
The
a
panda.
monk, I'm probably one of the few people that might actually
Just
be able
about
to
to
keep up with
say.
her.
You're the- Well, we have some teleporters here. We have some powerful
Yeah,
casters.
it's true. Evan, I think he's gonna hear V after being like, "Oh yeah, did Kairos say those things?" And then just like, pew, like just seeing like the after image of V like running off, be like, "Oh, I'll get her. Okay, hold on." And just
Then
starts.
I think if you're coming after, you're the only one who hears when V's thought process does slip. Because Hidode's is like turned up a bit, even as she's running away from it, she'll go like, hell no, hell no. If he figures out I like him, he's gonna be so smug about it. There's no fucking way. I dove 872 man hours into looking for that son of a bitch. So there's no fucking way I'm letting him know. And like, you hear that, but she doesn't say Kairos. You just hear him a lot. And her delusional refusal to accept something here. And then she comes to that like, skirt, and then turns around and you might almost like smack her. Sorry. Okay. And she's gonna pull you a little closer so you're at the 200 feet and go, now we can talk out loud.
I didn't know that wasn't allowed.
Okay. Sometimes my thoughts are really fast, and so I and here I am.
You ran from your thoughts. You know what?
That's
Valid.
what I do.
Hey, next time if you're upset or sad about things, you don't have to keep it in. You can like,
What?
you know, talk to me about stuff.
Evan, I know. Yeah. If I
Well,
was
I heard
sad-
a lot. I heard a lot of like
Nope.
upset things about him, and I don't think I'm him. I hope I'm not him.
No, God, no.
but-
Evan, you're like the best friend I've ever had in my whole life. Of course you're not
Yeah.
him. You're the best.
Good.
I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
am working through it. I promise you.
It-
It's gonna be fine. I just didn't You know what? It's gonna be fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ran. I was trying to find a good space. You know what? And I just text the group like,
Yeah.
hey, 200 feet out, there's as where I'm finding I can speak again. And I just send that off
okay.
really quick.
Yeah. I'm just gonna like ruffle between her ears a little bit.
You know how I like it when you do that. Thanks.
Since V went and checked out, I'm gonna go check up,
Okay.
and
You
I'm
find-
not gonna pass up the chance to do some dives and swoops with my falcon buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and just make an acrobatics check just to kind of see how they are.
Absolutely.
But what you'll find is that you have to break the canopy of the trees. You have to be above the tallest tree in order to
Okay.
stop the
Okay.
out loud thoughts.
Sure, right. So I'm burning Flash of Genius on this. 10.
You should. Yeah. 10. Incredible. And that's with Flash of Genius. So that's
with Flash of
amazing.
Genius.
I think what's happening is you're just being shown up by this peregrine falcon
Yeah.
who just is constantly trying to egg you on to do a dive bomb. You can they don't speak, but you can kind of pick up their body language a little bit and kind of guess their meaning a little bit. And this falcon is continually like flying near you and kind of like will not bite you or anything, but like kind of peck at you a little bit to sort of antagonize you to be like, come on,
Mhm.
let's do it. Let's
Okay.
go as fast as possible.
Hell yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool as shit. I'm going to go land over near V and Evan. And
Okay.
then go and pass along the information about the height. Did I see anything like a source or anything like that? Or is it just kind of like a.
Oh, incredible question.
That-
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Dirty, filthy little 20.
Beautiful. With a
Disgusting.
dirty 20, you are looking over a huge old growth forest, beautiful trees. You see mountains off in the distance and stuff like that. You don't see anything that could necessarily corroborate as a source of this effect. There isn't like an obelisk or some kind of talisman or something that would really stand out. It doesn't help that you're above the trees, so the trees are kind of masking a little bit if it is a lower to the ground sort of entity that is creating this. You can't help but think that maybe that raven had more to do with it than any one static object, like an inanimate object or something. That raven stands out to you as interesting. It wasn't until you saw that raven that things began to get a little weird. But there is something, you don't think it's related to the thought thing.
Okay.
It's different. And it's further away, like over a mile, maybe 2 miles off in the distance. You just see the tops of trees kind of shaking a little bit and like birds like fly off in a flock as they do, as if something large is moving through the forest. But you're not like, it's so far away that you're not hearing a ton of, it's not like trees are falling, like the way, flashback to season 1, fighting the Hydra. You're not seeing like trees falling down. You're not hearing like huge booming steps. Just something big enough to move trees, but like quiet enough to not make a ton of noise.
Okay. You say I can see the trees shaking. Can I make like a guess as far as to distance and direction?
Yeah, for sure. It's like I said, it's like 1.5 to 2 miles away. And it's kind of in the direction that you guys are already heading.
Perfect.
I know. So convenient for all of us.
I love it. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna land, and I don't know that I'm gonna call attention to much of anything other than pass a little smirk over to V, and then get right back down to business of, okay, I figured out about where there's something out there that's moving around. I don't know if it's the source of the weird brain thing, but I don't know. I can kind of gauge where we're at. I don't know if we go back in the forest, though, if it's going to make us start thinking out loud again.
As long as we keep our thoughts under control, maybe it'll be fine, especially if we're supposed to be going that way, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll just pass the word along, and we can hang out here or meet them in the forest or whatever. I don't know.
You guys are still in the forest. Just
okay.
200 feet further. Yeah, the forest is
Gotcha.
massive.
Okay.
You're still very much in the forest. You just have seemingly bypassed this is a 2024 term, emanation of this effect.
At that point, I'd again text the group chat and be like, all right, please hold. We might be coming back your way. And then she's going to kneel on the ground and look at this tortoise with rockets on it and go, apparently, you were the guide. So, sorry for running earlier, but that wasn't about you. Okay? Let's just put that out there right now. That was a more on me thing than you think. I'm really sorry. I know you're just doing your job. It's really nice that you're here. I think you're wonderful. Okay. If you're guiding us, where am I supposed to go?
Begin slowly walking.
Oh, now the rockets are gone. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly like that.
Dang.
Slowly walking further into the woods, opposite the direction of the raven with the clouded eye.
Oh. Okay. Then I definitely would go, no, I think we got to get them to come out this way.
I'll go get him.
Yeah.
I'll go get him.
So good of you. So good of you.
Amazing. Icarus flies off. In the meantime, what are Kairos, Nova, and Hedone doing? Still in the area where your thoughts are broadcast out loud.
Kairos is staring down at the ground and is just stating random facts from books in order to keep his brain from saying thoughts out loud that he doesn't want. So you just hear him just, mouth is not moving, but just the second law of aerodynamics states that thermodynamics states that entropy will always increase. So possibly if we reverse the entropy of an object and use that potentiality to create magic, I could possibly get back my chronomancy by using graviturgy. So by manipulating gravity as the constant force throughout the multiverse, that could possibly be the force that would reverse the entropy of an object, then we could create basically a reverse version of it. I should really rewatch the movie Tenet to further this development of an idea. Anywho.
I think no one should be thinking boring. I was like, is this summer school now? I thought we was on vacation.
An object in motion always stays in motion, so in actuality, if we were to take that object and then take the potentiality of that object,
Still going.
reverse the entropy, that could be a possibility of what we're trying to accomplish here, but we need to stop thinking as time as this thing.
Hey, everybody.
We
We found the edge of this whole little
And if we do,
bubble thing.
what
here.
where we're going?
Yeah,
Okay, tight, let's go.
All right. All right.
Spells prepared for the day. Firebolt. Booming blade.
Okay. Yeah.
Fireball. Wait, no, I don't know fireball. Pulse wave. He's literally just going to be reciting every single spell he has prepared for the day.
I love that. So you guys
Mage hand.
continue further until eventually you guys all meet up again. Now your thoughts are your own. You can think what you would like and no one will hear it. Do you guys decide to continue to follow your Philgia deeper into these woods?
That's the point.
Yeah.
V would vote yes, but is not going to leave the group to do so.
Incredible. So you guys continue to head deeper into this strange wood. I believe Marminil referred to it as the Myrkviðr, sponsored by H&M. We've met the H. We're about to meet the M. As you all continue further in, the woods begin to grow a little colder. Mist and fog starts to billow across the forest floor, only about 6 inches high, but enough that you can almost barely see your own feet. The Philgia luckily give off a very light bioluminescence of their own, these magical spirit-like creatures that are here to guide you. And as you do, getting deeper and deeper still, I would love for everyone to make perception checks once again. 7 from Evan. Incredible.
Nice.
Wait.
A 4.
Flash of genius. 9.
Yeah, use them all. Hell yeah.
24.
24.
I'm not
Incredible.
gonna. That's so loud.
22.
22. Nova.
15.
15. Okay, awesome. So, Nova, Kairos, V, and Hedone, you all see another raven hanging on a low branch. It looks familiar because it looks almost identical to the last one, a large black-feathered raven, as most ravens are. But this time, instead of having these strange lines the way that a hot blacktop would in a summer day, it almost feels like you have double vision. Like this one raven, sort of like a mirage, sort of flutters in and out of existence, and then there are 2 ravens and 3 ravens, and then it goes back to 1, and it's hard to figure out exactly what's going on. And before you're able to pass on that information to your friends, or to even come to an understanding within yourself of what is happening here, as you all witness another one of Odin's ravens, Munin, which stands for memories in lots of translations.
Oh no.
As you all find yourselves separated and alone, trapped in flashbacks.
No, no, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Sponsored
forgot
by
about the
H&M, Hugin and
flashbacks.
Munin.
I forgot about the flashbacks. But
It's
I
just-
can't run away from those, Justin.
No, you can't.
Bro.
No, you can't. As each of you find yourselves alone in these flashbacks, it's very odd because as you come to, for the first like 30 seconds, it's just like you're living in the memory. You're acting, immediately jumping into this scene before you. The first thing you would all notice, other than the fact that you are in a different time, in a different location than you were seconds ago, your Philgia seem to be missing. They're not here to guide you. We're going to start with Icarus.
Okay, good. I mean,
Yeah, you're the co-host of the
Oh,
podcast. I get to pick
yeah.
on you whenever the hell I want.
That's fair. That's honestly fair.
And so we begin with Icarus. Icarus, you find yourself back on the campus of Mythos University. You feel the wind in your hair whizzing past you as you are flying above the track, practicing your flying. What does that look like for Icarus?
I imagine Icarus has devised some sort of contraption that shoots little like catchable things in the air. It just has like a bunch of like little rods with parachutes. And so basically it's just that thing going off in the middle of the track and then Icarus flying around and swooping around and catching all of them and then landing, reloading it, doing it all over again.
Amazing. Like a what is it called? Pull. What are those called? Ski kind of
yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Where there's just like a mechanism that's just throwing things like army men on
Yeah.
parachutes.
Yeah,
And you're just
pretty
catching
much.
them before they hit the ground.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check with advantage in this moment, as this is a highlight for Icarus's flashback, for your memories, really honing this new skill, being able to navigate the skies with ease.
17.
17, incredible. You're ducking, you're dodging, you're diving, you're doing all these incredible aerial maneuvers. But I can't help but think that it might dawn on Icarus in this moment of bliss. Who gave you these wings? Does that ever cross Icarus's mind? That Daedalus is the one who gifted these wings to you and made this possible, what you're doing right now?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I really think it is something that kind of consumes him at times, of like his dad was who brought him into like this realm of the gods and was his only real connection at that point. And now he's gone. And just kind of it I can't go to Baltimore. I'm too cool for the mortals there. And
Whoa.
yeah, no, I can't. And so I don't know, it's very much a I really regret how things turned out and how it all kind of shook out in the end, because obviously it's his dad at the end of the day. Guy raised him, gave him pretty much everything, this amazing life with the gods, and then he broke bad, and now it's like,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I
And-
don't feel bad that he I don't feel bad that in the sense that we stopped him from doing the bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's still my dad,
Yeah, absolutely. Super complicated feelings to deal with for anybody, especially somebody around that age, being give or take freshman, sophomore era of college, practically a child, as we all know. That being said, as you're flying through this, nagging thought that stays with you, you're flying up and down, you're getting closer and closer to the clouds, and then also dipping down low. Do you think Icarus is, in this moment, in this flashback, in this memory, do you think Icarus is more likely to fly too high or too low?
I was picturing this scene in my head a bunch, and I think it's going to be too low. Like, he's trying to see how close he can get to the ground and catch the thing, like the second before it hits the ground, kind of work flying real low and fast.
Incredible. And as you're doing that, there's a particular projectile on a parachute that is drifting slowly to the ground, and as it gets closer and closer to where it's almost touching the blades of grass in the center of the fields that the track circles, I want to know, other than Daedalus, who would you like to be here to see this great feat as you do catch it right before it hits the ground?
Kairos.
Incredible. And when you think of that, in that moment, thinking of Kairos, your roommate, friend, the first friend that you made on campus, and he's not here, your memory starts to shift to a different scene. But before we get to that scene, we move on, as we are going to jump to Hedone.
Oh. Rude.
Just wait.
Just
wait. This
quick.
is nothing compared to what's about to happen. Okay.
Okay.
Hedone, you find yourself at the top of a grand staircase. One of those massive staircases that at the top platform, actually, there's two staircases that sort of circle around, going into this massive ballroom. This is an event that you remember fondly. This is a great memory for Hedone. This marks sort of a goddess coming out party sort of thing, where you're like being bestowed the honor of the title of goddess. Your parents are there. Do you think that they would both be walking you down the stairs, like quote unquote presenting you? Or do you think that it would just be your dad, or would your grandmother be involved, or would you be walking down solo?
I think Hedone would be walking down solo, as her parents and her grandmothers at the bottom of the stairs kind of waiting for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she is definitely in her moment. She is in her element. Like, all eyes. Yeah,
please describe to us the outfit.
So she has on a iridescent kind of like rainbow, super like fitted ball gown that's super fitted in the front, but then has this huge, massive train behind her. And as she walks, it literally every step she takes, it changes colors of a rainbow. And she has on, when I mean massive crown, she has on this massive like gold, silver, like it has all these jewels encrusted in it. And it looks to be heavy, but she's effortlessly wearing it as she walks downstairs toward her parents and toward her grandmother.
Incredible. And you see Eros and Psyche also dressed in their best, standing there, faces beaming with pride, looking up at you, smiles across their face. And then you see beside them Aphrodite, your grandmother. Same thing. She's also wearing a beautiful gown. She looks at you descending the stairs, and it's one of those stark memories that sticks in your head of Aphrodite being her kindest. As you descend to the stairs and eventually reach them, you also see a crowd of people, a sea of gods and goddesses and demigods and different figures that you're familiar with, some that are maybe a little bit closer to your parents or to your grandmother, but nonetheless, a ravished audience who is taking in this sight and is awestruck. Hedone is truly having her moment.
Yeah.
One of the faces you do see in the audience, jaw agape, nearly touching the floor, is none other than Achilles.
I think Hedone, like, she looks at him and she sees his reaction to her coming down the stairs, and every step she takes, it's like her main power is coming online. And she kind of like slowly cranks it up as she stares at him, like purposely pushing that power toward him, almost like like she's testing to see what she can do. And at the same time, she's also kind of looking toward her grandmother for approval, to see if, like, can you see, like, you see what's happening? Can you see, like, I have control of my power, and I could, like, focus it on someone if I want to. And she's looking for her grandmother's approval more than anyone else.
Yeah. Go ahead and make either, depending on what is higher, either a persuasion or a performance check with advantage.
With advantage. Oh, that's lovely. 18 or a 19 plus a 7.
As you feel your power coming into its own and you begin directing it towards Achilles, looking off at your grandmother to see if she approves, or that, making sure she notices, and then whether or not she approves. You do see Achilles being hit with wave after wave of hedonism as he begins sweating. He loosens his bow tie and like takes that off. He takes his jacket off. There's a cummerband that gets loosened immediately, untucks the shirt. He's like fully having what most closely resembles like a hot flash. And Aphrodite certainly notices this, like sees you looking at Achilles, sees Achilles having a moment, and you do see her look at you and wordlessly, not to ruin your descending of the stairs, gives you a knowing nod and a smile, as if to say, I see you and I approve.
I think Hedone, as she sees that approval, she feels that approval, she's gonna kind of like the last few stairs, dial it back just a little bit, just so that way he's like almost collapsed, like he's almost like falling over himself a little bit as she reaches her parents and reaches her grandmother. And she has like a very satisfied cat-like smile of like, yeah, I did that.
Amazing. As you reach Eros and Psyche, they each give you a tight hug, kisses on the forehead, and they say, well, Hedone, all of this is for you, and we hope that we can always provide for you, give you whatever you need, whatever you would ever want in this world. And that thought gets trapped in a loop. This idea of your parents always providing, always being able to give Hedone everything that she would ever want, that she wouldn't necessarily have to work too hard because her parents would always be there to pick up the pieces or to provide a fallback option. And as things begin to morph a little bit, the ballroom around you begins to shift and change until you find yourselves in the living room of your parents' house as the tone of the conversation shifts. But before we get into that, we move on. And we are going to go to Nova in this moment. Nova, so exciting. Nova, I think the first thing that you would realize is that you're underwater. And you're moving quickly. You actually find yourself in the middle of a race. Some type of huge swim competition, even as you are breaking the surface of the water and diving back down, performing your best stroke, the butterfly stroke, of course. We all know that. We remember it from season 1, of course.
Correct.
And as you're breaking the surface, you hear the screams of the crowd, everybody cheering you on, as this is the final heat. This is it. To win for Mythos University against whatever school you're going up against, you don't even remember because they don't matter.
Nowhereville.
You even go so far as to hear your coach, Coach Carl Charybdis,
Carl.
in a nearby pool, because he can't be in the pool that the actual swim meet takes competition because he is a living whirlpool.
Yes.
And so in a nearby pool, maybe like the jacuzzi or something, Coach Carl cheers on his team. Oh gosh, God, Nova, you're doing a great job. Just keep it up, okay? You're almost done.
I hear you, Carl. I got you, Carl. Coach. Let's coach.
Yeah, responding to the coach while
Yes,
swimming
coach.
is super impressive. Is Nova better at athletics or acrobatics?
Fantastic question. Acrobatics.
Acrobatics, okay. I would love for you to make an acrobatics check with advantage as you are quickly being approached by another swimmer who is actually a full mermaid.
He's at 14.
14. Okay, better than a 13. So you are cruising and it almost gets close to neck and neck. There's some type of announcer watching the entire race. It has to go down to a photo finish. And sure enough, Nova, daughter of Poseidon, touches the wall first and the crowd goes wild. Coach Carl, prideful, cheering you on. Well, what a heck of a job, you make me so dang proud, So that's just great. Wow. By the way, we have a new swim manager. I forgot to introduce her. Sarah Sater, her name is. She's just joined the squad recently. And you see a very sheepish looking Sater, hair in front of her face, a hoodie pulled up, even though it's like sweating in this hot pool room. Oh, hello. It's nice to meet you, Captain.
I was like, nice to meet you, Sarah. I was like, welcome to the team.
Oh, gosh, well, not really part of the team, but I mean, thank you so much. It's really nice to be.
Don't be so humble. You're part of the team.
Oh, gosh, I'm the least or am I the most I don't know. Okay, thank you again. It really means a lot, And Coach Carl brings the team together after the successful victory, beating whatever this other school is. And actually, before he says anything, Nova, what's going through your head? This is like a huge highlight. This was like a really close race that Nova was the deciding factor in bringing the W to Mythos.
I think in Nova's head is that she could have done better. Even though they won and whatnot, it's like that was too neck and neck and too close for that comfort. And she hopes her dad did not witness that.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Coach Carl brings the team together. Listen, we got to give it up to Captain Nova. I mean, she's just a sophomore at this age, and look at her. She's absolutely stomping people out there in the water. So, we got to give it up to her. She, making us look real good out there. Nancy, what are you doing? Jesus. Anyway, listen. Remember why we do this, gang, okay? Synchronized swimming team. Never forget.
Never forget. Always remember.
Always remember. Anyway, Nova, your dad wanted me to tell you he couldn't show up
Oh.
for this one, but he sends his best, and I think he's probably got to be real proud. I mean, you won after all, so that's good.
Yeah, super duper proud. I'll make sure he knows.
Absolutely, you should.
Yeah.
And Nova, as you think about your dad and how he would feel, how he would evaluate your performance in this swim meet, you know that he's a harsh critic. You know that he has some older tendencies, being one of like the OG gods, this idea of what it means to be a god, and like has pretty high expectations. And that brings you to another memory as you are now out of the pool and find yourself in Poseidon's study. But we move away from there and we head somewhere else. Evan. Yeah, I'm
Hi.
leaving the two of you for last. Ha ha ha. Evan, you find yourself outside. You're near a moving truck, and there's a quick, am I at work? Am I delivering packages or something? And you do find a large box in your hands, but it's not done the way that Hermes Express packages their boxes. It's done a little crudely. The tape is a little askew. There aren't any like clear labels on it, except for in Sharpie. There is just written very like quickly across the side. It just says clothing. And as you're sort of coming to, you find yourself in this beautiful memory of you and Pandora moving in together. As you hear Pandora's voice, also with a box in her arms, as she just comes up behind you, exiting the moving truck, walking down the little ramp, as she comes up behind you, holding a box, and she says, "Well, I think that might be the last one."
Oh, awesome. Thank you for getting that. You didn't have to. I could have carried that. Thanks,
No, of
Pandora.
course. I want to help. We're doing this
Yeah.
together, after all.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
And
Wow.
the two of you head inside this incredible apartment, right? It's an apartment?
Yeah.
Heading inside this incredible apartment that the two of you can call your own. You see all of your memorabilia, photos that have yet to be hung up, Pandora's own decorations and personal flares. And she says to you, "So, well, I've just ordered us a pizza. I know that you like pineapple on your pizza, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I do, yeah.
sort
I
of
do.
your thing?"
Mhm.
Incredible. And trust me, I didn't order an extra pizza for Todd over in the corner. I know he doesn't eat pizza.
Well, fiddly figs are just so persnickety anyway. I think feeding it pizza with pineapples would probably make it lose all of its leaves. So I've learned.
Right. Yes. Rest in peace, Todd.
Yeah,
Number
Todd,
one.
Todd
This was
number
the
one.
second one.
Yeah, this is Todd 2.0.
Right. Well, I think Todd 2.0 will have a long life with us here, as the two of you are talking about a plant in the corner that has a name. What is going through Evan's head in this moment?
Oh, Evan, his thoughts are swimming at best. It's just like one thought after another, like thinking, did I name all the plants? I need to name the plants. If I don't name the plants are gonna die. Wait a minute, I didn't name them. Pandora did. And like whenever he thinks about Pandora, he starts to feel a little bit more calm. And then thinking about the fact, like looking around, like he's looking around the apartment, putting down things and seeing like how she's unpacked her things and how their things are starting to kind of mesh together, and seeing like his pillow and her pillow on the couch together, and like just feeling like his like I made it moment. Like, maybe I am an adult. I don't know what a tax write-off is, but I know what cohabitation is. And it's just any and everything, but just all overwhelmed with good thoughts.
Incredible. Pandora takes your hands in hers and kind of looks around the apartment. It's meager, it's modest, but it's yours.
Yeah.
And Pandora says, "Look at us. Look at what you've accomplished, Evan. This is incredible. I'm serious. It's truly remarkable what you've been able to do."
Pandora, I couldn't have done this without you, okay? I am here because you believed in me when my dad didn't, when nobody did. It was always you. So thanks.
I do believe in you. I always have.
I know.
And there's that split second. There's that split second, Evan, where you think about your dad and you think about his disapproval and the beauty of this scene. All of the happy memories begin to fade away as you find yourself in a very corporate, almost sterile business office, sitting across the desk from your father. But before we get into that, we have to move on. And we head to V.
No, double it and pass it to the nice person. I don't want it, actually.
Wait, what the fuck?
Why is my memory worse than I remember?
Yeah, double trauma.
Wow, this is really bad. I thought I would have brought this up more if it was this bad.
When you sort of come to, you're finding yourself a little discombobulated, because unlike, not that V would know this, but unlike the others, instead of having just one linear thought that you are getting sort of mesmerized by, there's a series of montages, quick flashes of multiple smaller memories stitched together, if you will. It's almost like a summary of the Da Vinci Code. This master detective, this inquisitive rogue, solving the most complicated and some would say maybe too complicated of riddles and mysteries. What does that look like? This like really complicated thing, and maybe what were you solving, do you think?
Yeah, I think that the mystery that allowed us all to like ace the year gave V a new purpose, a redirection of, if I can't be good at the thing I was told I could be good at, I could be good at something, and started just like kept her line open for anyone. And as the group knows, sometimes she had to spread out and grab some help, but this one was on her own. I do believe that some demigods, or even something lower than demigods, were being, I don't know, disappeared, missing, and I needed to find them. And it was some diabolical, like, trickster god bullshit that was really just like one big test for fun, but to V it was everything. There were puzzles, there were multiple locations, there were witnesses that were told to lie and say certain code words and keywords that she would need to detect and write down, and there were recordings of conversations she had to reverse, and it all led to finding 3 lowly people that like really no one but their families missed, but their families missed them. And V got to give that back to somebody. And as someone who's extremely estranged from the family, watching her overthinking do some good was probably the most rewarding thing that happened to her that year.
Amazing. And as you're reconnecting these families, you end up catching the culprit. Again, very complicated. Not only were there code words and witness tampering, but there was also hidden clues, a strange painting by a Renaissance painter that you don't even know the name of, some teenage mutant
You had
ninja
to lick
turtle.
the paint.
And you had to figure out what was going on. You had to lick the paint, find out this actually isn't paint, this is ketchup. What's going on? And all of these different interesting things, all to find out that none other than Archangel Gabriel was kidnapping mortals for who knows what. We won't get into that. We don't have time, because as you begin thinking of reuniting these families, thinking about your own family, the memory around you shifts. But not to a sad one, to another happy memory. As you are back on the track team. Earlier in your time at Mythos University, you are part of the track team. Evan is with you. Coach Hermes is there. And your other track mates. And you are part of this team. Some would say a family in some regards, depending on the team and depending on the, culture of that team.
I cannot believe you let me write this and forget about it.
Yeah, I've asked. Yeah, it worked out perfectly. And so what is this like, being back in this scene, back in a place where you are part of a team?
I think V gets nauseous immediately, because this was before the mystery. So at this point, this was the best her life had ever gotten. She was good at something again. And she had friends to be good with because her family was not talking to her. And it didn't feel like she was a failure here. She was good again.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like this memory.
Well, don't worry, because we're not going to be here
upset.
long. Because what's going to happen is this. Because as you start to focus in on your own competency and being not just good at something, but superb at it. Specifically running, in this case, running fast. You find yourself on a forest trail, sprinting. You're in the middle of a race. And unfortunately, you are in second place as you see a tortoise crossing the finish line ahead of you. But before we get into that, we must move on.
All right, cool. Let me calm down.
Kairos.
Move on.
Kairos, I can't promise that any of your memories are too thrilling. But
Pick
we will
a card,
do our
any
damnedest.
card.
I'm setting the expectation right off the jump. Here we go. Kairos, you find yourself back at the River Styx. I think there's a quick moment when you actually begin to panic, thinking that maybe the faculty have found you. They know that you left the training camp, the space that you're supposed to stay quarantined until they can figure out what's going on with you. A vague understanding of exactly where their authority ends and begins, especially as it pertains to your own freedom in some regards. But there you are, in the River Styx. Or rather, at the River Styx. This craggy sort of wasteland with this deep cut river that separates it, full of souls being carried by this greenish translucent water. And before you can get wrapped up in that, a heavy hand pats you on the shoulder as you look up and see Ares, your
sir.
sort of training coach. How's it going?
Oh,
You done with your water break, son, or can we get back into it?
yeah, we can get back into it.
Awesome. Well, it's been 90 seconds, so that's more than I normally allow for, so I think it's time we get in there.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
And Kairos is wearing his just a plain t-shirt that's drenched in sweat. It has just cuts and burn marks all over it. The 70s basketball shorts and some Converse looking shoes that he's running in that are just like mangled, have definitely got pebbles and holes in them. It's just like, All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do here is we're doing the deity triathlon. All right. So,
Okay.
first up is swimming. All right. I know you're friends with that Nova. Hopefully, she taught you a thing or two because we're about to go for it. Okay. Lose the shoes.
Okay. He kicks off the shoes and the shirt. All right.
And he begins walking over to the edge of the river Styx. You ready?
No.
Hell yeah. And he dives into the river Styx. As you both swan dive into the river Styx, there's like a 6-foot like part of the crag before the river actually begins, as if there's like cliffs and then a river like lower down, as opposed to the river being like right at the top. And so you're falling for a little bit, and then you hit this water, freezing cold, and moving not in just the way that a river would normally run, but it's as if these semi-corporeal bodies are passing you and pushing you aside, as you not only have to swim upstream, but you need to swim against a current of souls. And so I would love either an athletics or an acrobatics check with advantage.
All right, here we go. 17.
Incredible. As you're swimming through, you're in the water long enough that the souls begin to swarm you. Like and Kairos would know this because it's established canon. You remember a scene in Inception when the dream NPCs, if you will, recognize that there is a foreign person in the dream, and they begin to kind of herd around them like white blood cells almost. And that is happening here. The souls are recognizing that you are a living person and therefore shouldn't be here, and they begin to swarm you and start trying to pull you down. But with a 17, you slip through and make it to this kind of arbitrary finish line as Ares pushes, like dolphin kicks, and pushes himself up out of the water to the edge of the river again.
Why is the water so thick?
Well, that's souls for you, you know?
Yeah.
They're always kicking in one way or another, sort of on their way to the underworld. But anyway, you ready for the next thing? Put your shoes back on.
Okay. I gotta walk back down the side of the river to get my shoes.
Shit. Yeah, we didn't think about that. All right. Okay. Consider that your break.
I think as he's jogging back real quick, he's just thinking about how ever since he was a kid, he always kind of felt that around him, like that coating of souls and that darkness and that aura has always been a part of him. And it's like that same feeling of being in that water is like what prevents like Hedona's powers from reaching in. It's the same undead, just natural darkness that's just there as he's picking up his shoes and slapping the shirt over his shoulders.
Jog back. All right. Well, don't get too winded because the next thing's a foot race, okay? I wrangled in some air spirits, some wind spirits. What are they called? Hold on. Anemoy. So we got some Aramoy or Anemoy. I can't read whether that's an R or an N. Sorry, my handwriting's terrible when I'm trying to write fast.
Let me see.
But
I
either
can't
way,
read that either. Okay.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
And so we're just going to do a quick foot race. And we're just running right. You see that volcano over there that looks real ominous with a bunch of magma kind of pouring out of it?
Yes, sir.
That's where we're headed.
Okay, sir.
All right. On your mark. And you see this air spirit, this like semi-transparent, sprightly looking figure that is like solidified wind where like you can see through them, but it's like passing by. It like muddles your vision through them, like when you're looking through one of those privacy glass things from the 70s or something, like that they would put on like a shower door or something. And they get into the runner stance. They put their hands like this, back their butt up into the air.
Arch is wild.
Ares pulls a full gun out and goes, "All right, on my mark. Get set. Go!" He fires the pistol.
That's so not fair. They can arch like that. I can't. How am I supposed to get a head start like that?
And the
They're made of
animal
air.
is sprinting through this wind spirit. Go ahead and make another either acrobatics or athletics.
Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
Ooh, incredible. You defeat this wind spirit in a foot race as it is flying close to the ground, not even touching the ground with its feet, just blasting forward. But you manage to make it to the base of this volcano first. As you do, Ares is already there, inexplicably, probably using some sort of teleportation magic that he has up his sleeve. As you make it here, Ares puts his hand on your shoulder again. "I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job. I don't know if I say that enough or..."
I appreciate that. I don't hear that a lot, and my feet are bleeding. So that's greatly appreciated.
Well, you put the shoes on, right?
I did, but
Okay.
the thing is, when I was flying next to them, and I think you'll see like a branch just like sticking through the elbow and out of the fold.
Ooh.
It's just the branches were really flying around when they were
Yeah,
going.
right.
I don't
Yeah, they
think
sort
they
of
were really
have a
controlling that.
turbulence
It
kind of
was
thing.
like yeah, it was like being in a tunnel with all gravel, like a wind tunnel with all gravel. Just
Well,
yeah.
I want to give you words of encouragement about what had just happened, but what's about to happen is going to be so fucking crazy
Okay.
that I just need you to kind of lock it in. All right?
All right.
Okay. Hey, Styx, can you help me out with this one? As you see the river Styx solidify and become a goddess. Not become a goddess, rather take on the form of her own goddess self. And so,
Saw Meadows' screen go white with Wikipedia.
that's where I get all of my stuff. So you'll find it. But as this green water becomes the shape of a woman, probably 15 feet tall, as she begins to step out of the cavern that creates the actual place where the river flows, and she stands next to you. She looks down at you and says, "Well, I heard that we're going to be doing a little exercise today."
Okay. Yeah, totally. I just as he just blood begins to splurt out as he pulls out the the hole. There's like a hole now in the elbow. Okay, yep. What
Wow.
are we doing?
Well, first of all, and she just kind of runs her hand across your arm and it instantly heals.
Thank
Yes.
you. You know, my relationship with healing magic is a lot more complicated now because it feels like with this training program, you guys really exploit the fact that you can heal my injuries.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're about to rock climb this volcano. Okay? And the important thing is this. Before we start, I have to ask you something, Kairos. Do you believe in yourself? Do you think that you can win this race against me to the top of that volcano?
Do you want me to be honest?
Yes.
No. I can't even pick up a sword made of rocks by the cabin. I can't.
Wow.
control time. I can't cast any spells. Like, no. I'll try, but no.
You know, you remind me a lot of my daughter when she was young. She didn't believe in herself. She focused on her flaws rather than her gifts. But you know what? She turned it around. And now she's a goddess of victory. You've met my daughter, Nike. I mean, she's pretty... People know her. It's not a big deal, but anyway. You ready for this?
Sounds nice. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. And the two of you begin this impossible
feet sizzle
onslaught. The rubber of your shoes beginning to melt as you are trudging towards the base of this massive, hardcore looking volcano with holes in the side of the mountain with lava pouring out. You have to be careful anywhere you put your hand. Could be covered in lava in the next second. As you and Styx, the mother of Nike, according to Wikipedia, climb a volcano. And as you're in this moment, you begin to think about how you got here. How did all of this begin? Why are you here to begin with? And your memory begins to shape and change until you find yourself in a new location. But first, we head back to Icarus.
Whoa. Hey. Okay.
I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction. I have DM dysfunction. A recent study published by the Bardic College of Lore claims that 69% of dungeon masters suffer from DM dysfunction, or DMD. This condition has more facets than your favorite polyhedral. Some have reported burnout, writer's block, issues with balance, or inner party problems. At So You Wanna Be a DM, it's our mission to not only fight the monster-like symptoms of DM dysfunction, but to treat the very cause of it. To do this, we implement auditory technology in the form of the podcast So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master. By listening to the tips and tricks provided by Justin and Taylor, DM dysfunction can become a thing of the past. I've been a listener of the podcast for over 4 months now, and I don't have to worry about DM dysfunction anymore. And I just DM'd my first homebrew world, and I don't have to worry about DM dysfunction. With all the So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master content that I consume, I'll never have to worry about DM dysfunction ever again. And neither will you. Check out So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master.
You can talk to your doctor today, or you can find So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master anywhere you find podcasts. Listening to too many episodes in a row can cause excessive imagination, lucid dreaming, lactose intolerance, and character death. Sorry, not death. Character depth.
And remember, you don't want DMD, you want D&D.
Has your Dungeon Master ever said no to your shenanigans during a game? Well, with Galliani and Hellstrom, they can't do that. If your DM denies your fever dream interpretation of the rules, then you're gonna want Galliani and Hellstrom in your corner. So just email us at soyouwannabeadm@gmail.com, or you can search for So You Wanna Be a Dungeon Master anywhere you find your podcasts. And remember, if you're not having fun playing D&D, something's, wrong.
Icarus, the last thing you were thinking was about how you wish Kairos was here to see your victory over the air.
Mm.
And as the scene around you changed and morphed, and you no longer found yourself on the track, or rather above the track, you find yourself in your dorm room. You have more space in the room than you did before. All of Kairos's things pushed up against one side. A familiar pocket watch sitting on the desk. What is Icarus doing in this moment?
He's probably working on one of his myriad ADHD projects, and he's really kind of fallen into it because as long as he's doing something with his hands, he doesn't have to think the hard thoughts about what has just happened. And there's a moment where, the whole room, even though there's more space, there's less space because everything's cluttered with papers. Everything is covered with stuff. And I think he hears a rustle of a paper as like some air shifts around the room. And for a minute, just because he's not even thinking, he's working on a project. He's like, "Hey, Kairos, right." And then kind of start working back on my etching runes into the little crystal that I wear, that is now part of my wings, that gives me those extra teleportation powers and stuff, just kind of carving runes and kind of just leaning back into it.
And Kairos, as you bury yourself in busy work to distract yourself from dwelling too long in the big questions, the hard thoughts, you can't help but hear a bird call outside your window. Many people would confuse this for an eagle, and it's not their fault. Hollywood, unfortunately, uses a different bird to pretend that it's an eagle sound.
Yeah.
It's normally a red-tailed hawk, but in this case, it's a peregrine falcon. As your Philgia dive bombs into your room, and as it approaches you and lands on your desk, you come out of the flashback and find yourself back in the woods. And we move on. Hedone.
Really?
You knew you were next. I'm going in order.
It's not in order in my screen.
Oh, true. Very true. No, I'm going off of a list on my thing.
Okay.
Hedone.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you remember is the ballroom diminishing away, finding yourself in the grand living room of your parents' house. Palatial, ostentatious. There are pillars and statues and a water feature, like an entire wall, like a decor wall that is actually like a waterfall. And sitting on one sofa opposite you, with a coffee table kind of in between, are Eros and Psyche, your parents. And the two of them are in heated conversation with you. We pick up right in like the middle of an argument. As Eros says, "Now, listen, Hedone, I don't understand. Why would you want to work for Freya? Of all people, I just don't understand. Please, explain it to me again."
Like, I don't understand why you keep... Like, why are we bringing this up? I'm not a baby. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm distinguished. I can do things on my own. First of all, you made me go to school. That's first.
Right.
Okay? So instead of just like getting me a degree, you made me go through it. So I don't understand what the big deal is when it comes to me like getting a job. Like I can
Hadone,
take
everything
myself.
we do is for your best interest. And so if you're working in some other land for some woman that we have no connections to, how are we going to make sure that you're all right? What if things don't work out? How will we save you again, like always?
I don't need you to save me.
I would say look at the record, but we've expunged most of your record, haven't we?
Really? That's where we're going with. Okay, Mom. This is where we're going with this. This is what. Okay. That is. And she's like almost speechless to the point of like tears, but she's definitely holding it back. And there's a moment where she's like you could feel her like her confidence is like kind of shrink way back. And she's like, I have been the perfect daughter. Okay, I don't understand what this is about, but Freya is like she's the boss of like the biggest magazine. She is like fashion personified, and if I can like be her second, it would be everything. I mean, you see, oh my God, I don't understand why you don't get me. You don't get me.
Hadone, we have been trying our best here. We are just trying to look out for you. But if you can't see that, best of luck with Freya.
Best of luck? So,
if it's your dream to be her second, which honestly, I'm surprised that you would ever dream to be not the best. That seems out of character, if we're being honest.
That's not fair. Okay, in order to get the top position, I have to be like in line to inherit. Like, do you understand? I'm your daughter. I had a whole coming out like ball. Like, I don't understand. Like, in order for me to be the next best thing, to be the first, I have to be in line for the first. And I don't need your hand holding that you constantly do. Okay, Jima doesn't do it. Like, I don't understand why you do it. Like, it's literally Aphrodite doesn't do this to me. And like, you guys constantly do it. It's probably the reason why she totally ignores you most of the time.
As you, in this memory, are trying to find all of the ammunition that you could possibly use to combat your parents in this tense argument, you hear the tiniest little meow as a black-footed cat finds its way into the living room and hops up onto the couch that you're sitting on and just curls itself into your lap and begins purring. And as it does that and you notice it, obviously your parents don't have pets. Not in the house, at least. That would be absurd.
Like fur on the couch, are we kidding?
Exactly. Not in a million years. And so you are able to break yourself of this memory and you find yourself with Icarus back in the woods. But the rest of your friends aren't here. And we are going to head over to Evan. Evan, you find yourself in your dad's office. Rich mahogany desk, gold-plated name tag that says Hermes. He's wearing a suit, which lets you know that he means business, that this is an important conversation. And as you enter into the room, there's no personality in this room. It's giving hotel art in the sense of it being almost interchangeable with anybody. The only thing that even points to the fact that it's your dad's office, other than the name tag, is a photo on the wall of Hermes shaking the hands of a man you don't necessarily recognize in this moment. A man wearing small circular glasses, and has on like a bandolier of vials and stuff like that. It would be a picture you would eventually come to remember that this is a picture of Hermes shaking hands with Daedalus. But that's not what's getting your attention right now. What's getting your attention is the face that your dad is making as you enter in, as he is seated. And you enter into the room, and he says, Evan, take a seat.
Yeah, all right, yeah, Dad. Yeah, Dad, what's up?
Evan, how many times have I told you gotta look at the frickin' labels?
Yeah, I do. I did. I fixed it. It's fine.
Well, you had to fix it in the first place. That's my point, is that we need to be flawless. And what happens is, if I'm sending a package and it goes to Athena, Georgia, instead of Athena, Greece, we're gonna have problems.
But we fixed. We
Rather
got it there. We
Athens,
fixed
I think.
it.
It's
Yeah,
Athena.
we fixed it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that woman named Athena, she didn't get anything. She's still waiting for her package because somebody thought Athena, Georgia was actually a place, and it's not a place. That would be asinine. So what is going on? Are you distracted? Or is this just daily Evan that I have to get used to?
No, Dad. I'm sorry. It won't happen again, okay, Dad? I promise. It's fine.
Well, I certainly hope not. I mean, I was hoping that you would be my successor one day, that you would take over the business. That makes sense. Something I would love to do. I want you to inherit Hermes Express and move it on to the next level of business.
Yeah.
But starting to think you don't deserve it. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong, Dad.
Well, prove it.
I will, okay? I can't. Just give me a shot, okay? Like, you gotta trust me more than you do right now, Dad, okay? And I'm sure in your time, maybe you didn't, but maybe you made mistakes too, okay?
Yeah, I've made mistakes, of course. That's gonna happen. The difference is that I own up to them immediately. I pivot. It's a famous business term. Everyone knows that. We love that in corporate lingo. I made a pivot, created an action plan, and now, guess what? I have an SOP for that entire thing. I have a standard operating procedure. I'm looking at my KPIs, okay? My key performance indicators. Yeah. Can you tell I was in sales?
Yeah.
Because I know all the lingo.
Yeah, Dad. I know, and I have one now too for when there's a town that has the same name as another place too. Like, can't you give me that like bit of grace? Like I have to make my own acronyms for things too.
I'm just gonna have to see you put some actions behind those words.
I will. I will, Dad.
All right.
Hermes.
I'll be waiting. And in that moment, Evan, the door to your father's office is barreled over by a panda bear. Fluffy, white, and black.
And Express, what are you doing here?
Fully breaks the door down and begins like nudging you with its head.
No, I'm busy. I'm in a meeting with Dad, Parent Express, and
this is so funny. I need Evan to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh wow. Okay. With the -1, it's a 17.
Incredible. As you begin to speak to, and I take it you've named it Panda Express.
Yes.
Incredible. And we're allowed to use that name. I've already checked. And as you as you speak to Panda Express, and Panda Express in a bear way speaks back, you escape this awful memory of being discouraged by your own dad and find yourself back in the woods. And before you're able to really take in the fact that 3 of your members are not here, we move on to Nova. Nova, you find yourself in the study of Poseidon, your dad. As you enter into the room, it's darkly lit, sconces that kind of flicker with this imaginary firelight. One of those almost like planetarium light things is in the corner, casting light against a wall and giving it this sort of water effect so that it looks like you're underwater. Bookshelves that are more tchotchke and trinket than book adorn one of the walls. And he sits at a desk made of living reef. And as you come in, Nova, please, take a seat.
Right. So she quickly sits down.
Listen, Nova, I don't know how to broach this subject or how to bring it up, so I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. All right? You gotta get some followers, okay? Because right now you're at like a demigod kind of level, okay? And we're trying to get you a little bit higher over to that goddess level. And what that's gonna require of you is followers. And without those followers, I don't know how else to say this, I'm again ripping Band-Aids off left and right, you will lose all of your powers, okay?
Oh, what do you mean I lose all my powers? I was like, what if I would like to keep it all? Like, I'm still studying college.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, I'm still studying college and stuff. I thought this would be like a after I graduate kind of conversation, not like during school.
Right, I know. And I thought that we could hold it off until then. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So what we're gonna need to do is get you a follower base. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna want to go door to door. Maybe you can make a commercial or some type of ad that we can play in the middle of a sports game.
What kind of goddess I want to be.
Oh, and I hear that. And trust me, and I want you to be able to live your truth. But unfortunately, truth gonna have to take a backseat to expedition because you're gonna need to figure it out sooner rather than later. Otherwise, again, goodbye powers. Okay, we're talking mortal level. Okay. You could still go to school. You could still be on the swim team. I don't know if you'll be captain. That probably won't happen. But it's important you do this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. You look like you might have questions.
How much time do I have?
Honestly, we should have been doing this kind of from the start. So we are actually a little behind of schedule. So what I'm going to need is you're probably going to have about 8 months to maybe 10 months. Yeah, I know. And you just got to get a big follower base. So we're talking like at least a cool maybe like a quick million followers.
Million followers.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, I think we need to slow down there a bit. Have a million followers.
I know.
Keep my powers. Again, I started school. I don't even know why would people even worship me. Why would that even be a thing?
What do you mean? Your daughter of Poseidon. Come on. If that's not a tagline, I don't know what is.
Yeah, but I don't want to like follow in your footsteps forever. And
of course,
I was like, I don't know what I should offer. Like you offered the sea, and I offer.
I know, it's awesome.
Me.
And you're good, and you're also great. And so start with that, and maybe you'll find other things to add to your repertoire of domains, and then you can kind of keep, expanding from there. I see politicians all the time. They make quick pivots. They all the time flip-flopping. You know, one day they say this, next day they say this, they stand for this, and then 5 years later, a different political party puts them in power, and so they end up swallowing all of their beliefs for the sake of gaining more power. That happens all the time, okay? Why not for you?
Right. But I don't want to step on anyone's toes. If I if I become like, I'm the goddess of a river, but there's already is one. I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, hey. You're an individual, and you have your own personality and style. This is your moment. Use those skills that you've learned. Captain of the swimming team. Come on. Yeah. You can do this. Again, it's not even that big of a deal.
Right.
Except that you will lose all your powers in about 8 to 10 months.
Right. Yep, I can do that. No pressure over here. It's just like another swim meet.
Exactly. Except this time, I'm going to be closely watching. Okay?
Oh, you're going to be watching? Me?
Closely watching.
Closely? Like, how close are we talking?
Oof. Like a hawk, I guess. I'm not very familiar with birds.
Yeah, right.
Sharks actually have really good eyesight, so people think that it's only their smell, but actually they have incredible eyesight also. Right. So maybe like a shark.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Incredible, because I can't stress it enough. This is really important.
Yeah. Lose powers and immortal. Yeah.
Amazing. Now go get him.
I will. Walk of shame.
As you turn around with this heavy burden now hanging on your shoulders, this seemingly impossible task to get 1,000 followers in 8 to 10 months. As soon as you exit Poseidon's study, you hear the howling of a wolf. As jumping through one of the windows of your dad's house, a familiar wolf. What does this wolf look like, by the way?
Cool. The wolf is very it's pitch black, red eyes. Probably the tip of the ears are blue. Almost like a little may have a little frost on them.
Amazing. As this wolf jumps through the window and begins in almost a protective way, circling around you. In that moment, as you make eye contact with these bright red eyes, the visage of this dream, flashback, memory slips away, and you find yourself back in the forest. As we move on to V.
Welcome back from Traumaville.
Yeah, send me a postcard.
V. We begin with you crossing the finish line of an infamous race. As you do, panting, breathing heavy, it was a hard-fought race. No one can deny that. You tried your best. But unfortunately, there in front of you, getting lifted by their friends, is a tortoise. A turtle person getting lifted by their friends. As Ralph Tortellini has won victorious. Slowly cheers to the crowd. The next person to approach you is one of your many mothers.
Yeah.
A Harangon like yourself. Her ears sort of Lola Bunny style are tied back into a little bit of a ponytail. Long flowing white robes. She comes over to you. Vlock, what happened?
Yeah, I know. I guess you can't win them all. Good for Ralph. Ralph's a good guy.
Good for Ralph. Fuck Ralph. What is going on? You're supposed to be... I mean, hello, victory. That was...
Yeah, but, I've done, 633 races in my entire career, and I did 632. What's one race? It's fine. It's good. Ralph is always
what's an incredible record
really
being broken in this moment? Yeah, it's not that big of a deal at all. It's, sometimes Nike is referred to as the goddess of, sometimes winning. No. This is huge, V. And you don't seem to be taking it very seriously, so I'm a little confused.
I'm sorry. I didn't think it... I don't have to win every time, do I?
I mean, does Nike ever lose?
Should I ask her? I don't know. I mean, you say I'm the reincarnation of Nike, I'm blessed by Nike, and if that's true, then this isn't a big deal. It doesn't change who I am, right?
No,
right, Mom?
I mean, listen, you're still V. You'll always be V. But maybe you're not the reincarnation of Nike. I don't know anymore. I'm gonna have to confer with the council. We're gonna have to do a naked dance under the fucking moon. This is... I don't think you realize how serious this is. We put all of our Easter eggs into this basket. Okay?
Ma, I didn't ask you to do that. I trained since I could walk. Before I could walk, I was running for you.
And you were beating all the other kids. Don't forget that part.
I think being a good winner includes knowing when you've lost sometimes, Ma. It doesn't change who I am. It's part of winning.
Well, listen, I'll take that into account, but I can't promise that the rest of the council is going to take too much weight into the opinion of a loser. And she gets frustrated with herself and begins to walk away. Are you doing anything to stop her? Or?
I'm shouting after her. I'm like, I run till my feet bleed. I train for 10 hours a day. What do you mean? A loser? I'm calling after her. I don't know if she's stopping, though.
She does not stop. As she just does one of these, her back facing you, just kind of and just keeps marching through. Talk to me about what Jesus Christ. Talk to me about what V is feeling. I don't want to know what Meadow's feeling.
Fine.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
That's all we got for this time.
I think that V kind of pats her pocket, and she knows that she lost this race because she stopped to smoke and took a nap. She didn't try her hardest. She just had won almost 700 races. So what is one that she loses? And she didn't think she was going to lose. She thought she'd wake up in time and be fast enough, but it wasn't true. And so she kind of pats her pocket and feels that joint in there and doesn't take it out because that's now evidence of everything. And she's going to kind of step out of her sneakers, and you see that they are bad feet. Some of her toenails are not there. She trains until she bleeds, and that has always been the deal. And she's never lost. And it's hurting seeing her mom walk away from her.
Yeah. As you take your shoes off, revealing your beaten and broken up feet.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. And let's all say it together. Yeehaw. No one did it with me. No one did it with me, and I was alone, and I felt that. So thank you guys so much. And moving quickly along, an unlikely source comes to maybe console you as you hear potentially the slowest voice you've ever heard, as none other than Ralph Tortellini,
my boy,
comes over
and says, "Well, that was quite the race. I thought you did a pretty good job."
I think V like buries her feet in the tall grass and turns to Ralph with a big smile and goes, "Yeah, but not as good as you. That was incredible. No one's ever done that before. You're a legend."
Oh, jeez. Well, I just like to go out there and give it my all.
Okay, is that the end of the... Okay, great. I can never
Anyway,
tell. Okay, right. No. Please,
Sorry.
please. Take your time.
Oh, okay. What was I gonna say?
I don't know. Think about it. As she like wipes tears from her face.
Anyway, winning isn't everything. It's not like you're Nike, the goddess of victory or something.
Yeah, Ralph, that'd be the only scenario in which this would be terrible for me. Yeah.
It would make it much worse. Kind
You're-
of compacted trauma in some regards.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, Ralph.
I'm so
Never
happy
really
I
thought
could
about
help.
You always do. I really hope you have a good celebration. And you know what? Yeah, and she's gonna take off her sweatbands and give them to him and go, "These are my lucky sweatbands. Wash them. Sorry. I don't, yeah, but maybe they'll keep you going real
Wearing them
fast."
today?
No,
Oh, good. Thank gosh. Okay.
she absolutely was.
As Ralph begins to walk away, he immediately puts them on. Immediately putting on these sweatbands. You feel a very gentle headbutt, but kind of like calf height, give or take, maybe the top of your calf, as you look down and see a Galapagos tortoise.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, I'm coming. And she's gonna put her shoes back on because she doesn't know if that translates to wherever she's going next.
And it does.
And
That's important.
Yeah, of course it does. Shoemancy. And she slides her feet into her tennis shoes, and looks down at the turtle and is like, "I'll go at your pace after you."
Amazing. And the scene of this race melts away as you find yourself back in the woods with 4 of your friends, but no Kairos in sight. All of you are together. Kairos is missing in this moment. As all 5 of you are standing around each other, your Philgia circling around you all. But you don't see Kairos.
Immediate panic.
As we step away, Kairos, we're gonna hop around a little bit. First, we are in that moment where you are hearing that ominous voice. A voice that we now know is that of Kronos. The same voice that pulled you away from your friends at the end of freshman year when the labyrinth came down and you all touched the statue. That same voice that said,
Tick, tock. Time is of the essence.
and as you followed the threads now turning black and found yourself in the river Styx or near the river Styx, you find a portal. This portal, in your memory, the portal, your threads are leading into the portal. You know that the voice is also coming from that same direction. You feel an immense old power just beyond it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kairos' decision in that moment was to try and close the portal. Correct?
Yeah.
That's not what happens in this memory. Instead, inexplicably, even though Kairos knows this isn't how it happened, this isn't canon, you step through the portal, following the threads to their completion. And they lead you to a dreary place that makes the river Styx look like a beautiful paradise as you find yourself in a strange and forbidden land known as Tartarus. A plane of existence meant to jail titans. Daniel, tell me the state that Kairos finds Kronos in. Describe that scene to us.
It's almost like a Hannibal Lecter situation, where it's like this glass box in this barren land, where it's like magic's so powerful that its appearance is simple, that it's just a glass box that he's kind of pacing around in. And I'm just kind of drawn towards him and confused.
As you see ahead of you this strange glass box with a figure pacing back and forth inside of it, you see a man that looks larger than life. Has like almost bronze colored skin, a large white beard, bald head, rippling muscles, and a series of watches, almost serving like chains. These like pocket watches and straps going all around, and the ticking is incessant. It is constant, and it is mind-numbing because all of the clocks are slightly out of sync. And as you get a little bit closer, this figure stops pacing, looks out of the glass at you, and puts his hand on the glass wall.
Kairos, you have come.
Who are you?
I am Kronos, the Titan.
What do you want from me? Presence, I've never felt this before. The river Styx, but this?
Kairos, I need your help. You see, I'm trapped here, held against my will by the gods. And if I'm to break free, if I'm to take my rightful place at the top of Mount Olympus, I will need your help. You see, I was unjustly imprisoned here for simply having a difference of opinion.
And then what about my friends?
What about your friends?
You would just be putting them in danger. You're dangerous. I don't know all the details, but I know you're here for a reason.
That is true. That is true. The gods have their reasons. Kairos, I have no doubt that they will tell you their reasons. They will fill you with fear. They will spin tales of danger. They will paint me as the villain. But I want you to know the truth. I am so much more than that. All I ask is for another chance to prove myself. Is that too much to ask? To leave these four walls?
I'm not the one to ask about that. That's
And yet
the
you
people
are.
you've harmed. It's the people you've harmed. I don't choose what justice looks like or
What if you
retribution.
What if you could, Kairos? What if you had more power than you've ever had before? What if you had the power not just to turn back the clock, but to command the very essence of time? And all that it connects, past, present, and future.
And as he says the word present, I want Kairos to make either an investigation or a perception check.
That's a 19 on investigation.
Incredible. You feel really lightly to the point where like it might be a breeze, it might be something completely different. You feel a hand on each of your shoulders, as if coming from a figure behind you.
And then I look over my shoulder,
Which shoulder are you looking over?
the right one.
Okay. You turn to look over your right shoulder, and you see Lachesis. You see the fate that calls herself your mother. The one who represents the presence, or the present, excuse me, in many regards. And she just has one hand lightly on your shoulder and is sort of smiling. But you see that she only has one hand on your shoulder. It's not, her other hand is free.
I think Kairos looks forward and he says, I can't change my fate. I'm not supposed to be a hero, a savior. I'm supposed to be a librarian. I'll try my best to maybe end up in a future with the girl I have a crush on, but I don't get to choose this stuff. No one does. We're not supposed to have this kind of power.
Kairos, I once believed that as well. But it is lies. They are feeding you falsehoods, containing your power because they are afraid of what you are capable of. But this notion of fate, destiny, of all of our decisions being preordained by whom, I ask?
What am I capable of?
I don't know. No one knows. But you can answer that question. With your deeds, with your actions, with how you decide to change your own future. Not listen to some old hag.
And you feel a squeeze on both of your shoulders in this moment. You hear your mother's voice just lightly say, I'm with you, son. I'm here with you.
And
Right
on his
here, right now.
Right side is where he keeps his spell book as he unlatches it from his satchel and retrieves it. I said no. This conversation's over, and I'm closing this portal for good. I don't know if you deserve to be in here or not, but I can't just blindly do what you tell me to.
He smiles. Full teeth-bearing smile. Kind of laughs a little bit to himself as he says,
Finally, you get it. You decide what your actions are. I would have been disappointed if you had just listened to my call and did what I asked without any pushback. That's not the soldier. That's not the hero I need.
and the hand on your other shoulder squeezes a little bit on your left shoulder. And you hear a voice that you're not familiar with as you sort of turn a little bit to meet them. As you see a woman in her, like, just again, purely on like appearance and kind of just guesstimating, probably like in her late 20s, 30s. And she says to you, listen, this isn't happening right now. None of this is happening. This is in the past. Come back to the present. Your friends are waiting for you.
And I think
I'll show you the way.
The moment, too, that his powers begin to start draining.
As you can feel your powers begin to drain, your spell book feeling lighter than it should be, this second woman that you're unfamiliar with kind of holds her hand out, and as she opens her palm, a spectral little pistol shrimp flies out and begins to circle around you. And in that moment, you realize not only are you not actually here in Tartarus, but this isn't how you remember the memory. And now you're left with this question of, did this even happen? Does Kronos have that much power from beyond his prison cell that he can change what happened in the past without necessarily affecting the future, which is a feat you've been told is impossible? The butterfly effect. The first movie you watched with the Fates. It was a double feature with Inception. We all remember this. It's canon.
Mm-hmm.
But is your memory
Episode
canon?
1, baby.
Is your memory canon? That's the question. But as you look at this pistol shrimp flying around you, it comes up to your face and hits you in the face. So small, such a little guy, but really packs a punch. As you kind of come to and find yourself, as you feel those two hands leaving your shoulder, as you wake up back in the forest, as you all see Kairos just sort of materialize out of nowhere.
I think as he appears, he's immediately like turning around and then casting Pulse Wave in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And draws his great sword and just, you won't take it from me again!
Hi, Rose. Kai. It's okay. It's just us. It's just us. Look. It's us. We're okay. Put the sword away.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the trees okay? Does it look real bad back there? Asking
Roll
for
for
like
tree.
for real, like pulse
Roll for
wave.
tree.
Is the tree okay? What does it look like behind Kairos right now?
Yeah, a couple trees fall over.
Okay. So that I feel like we all had some memories, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad. But I think as bad as you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
You're
let's just go. Let's just go. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Are our guides still with us? Our little animal guides? Okay.
Yeah. Little animal guys are still with you as you guys continue into the woods. And the pulse wave not only pushed back some of the trees, knocking one or two over, you also hear the caw of that raven disperse and leave. As you're continuing through the woods, Evan flips off, gives a bird, the bird, incredible.
The bird,
and
the bird.
Bird is the word. And you continue deeper into the Myrkviðr. That's how I'm choosing to pronounce that Norse word. And Taylor loves it. Taylor knows I'm really accurate. And thanks, buddy. And I would like everybody to make another perception check, another group perception check to see the next thing in the woods.
I've got a dirty 20.
A 9.
11.
10.
11, 10.
Dirty 20.
2 dirty 20s.
What is this? Perception?
Perception.
12.
12. Okay. Hedone and V. You guys hear it before you see it. You hear a shifting sound, a sound of a large thing moving through the forest. The only reason you can hear it, though, is because it's actually closer than you think. It almost, not intentionally maybe, but it almost like snuck up on you. It's moving incredibly deftly and almost stealthily. You don't know if it's necessarily trying. That would be an insight check, but it is moving pretty quiet for just the sheer size of it, the fact that it's making any noise at all. And you're expecting a creature. You're expecting a monster, maybe one with multiple heads, maybe a hey hydra, if only, because that is not what you see. What you see is rather a small cottage, a hut almost. You see that it is moving. It is being carried by a collection of wooden automatons, like a procession of... You guys would be most familiar, being of the Greek pantheon, with probably like dryads is probably the closest thing we would relate this to, but you are seeing a group of wooden beings holding a house up and just moving as one, as they are just carrying a house through the woods. And finally they come to a standstill and they drop the house. It falls 4 feet to the ground. A massive thud shakes out. Birds disperse. All of your spirits even get a little spooked and flutter behind you, using your bodies as cover. And stepping out of the house is a woman in a beautiful red dress with white hair, long evening gown, gloves, and she has a hawk or some kind of falcon maybe on her shoulder. Some of you would recognize her from her profile on the Y app. But Hedone, you know exactly who this is, as Freya steps out of this strange, mysterious hut, approaching you all, as she says, "Well, Hedone, this is quite a surprise. I wasn't expecting you here. But I suppose now is good of time as any. Fortunately, I will be having to let you go. It's nothing personal. I was just told by the Norns that your very existence puts my business at jeopardy. And so, we will have to fucking fight." And she throws her hawk into the air as it transforms into a rock, an absolutely gargantuan bird.
R-O-K, not
and
R-O-C-K. Got it.
ROC. Yeah.
ROC.
And I need everybody to roll for initiative.
What?
And that is the end
Boy.
of this episode of Mythos University Summer Break. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. I really appreciate you watching, and I had an absolute blast with this episode,
I'll
putting my
bet you
players
did.
through an absolute ringer of emotions. Whoa. It was a chunky
Rude.
episode, longer than I
Massive
thought it would be,
whiplash.
but here we are. Let's go around. I'll take those initiatives offline, but let's go around and do outros really quickly, and we'll wrap this episode up, and you can see us next week. Okay. Alphabetical, I guess?
Yo, it's alphabetical again.
Hey everybody. I'm Connie. You can find me at Camera Connie on all the socials, mainly on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Good God! I want to know what's gonna happen next week, so I'll be there, and so should you.
Wow. Golly gee willikers, gang. That was one heck of an episode, let me tell you, and we did it all in one take. My name is Daniel K. Hargrove, also known as Daniel the DM across all corners of the internet. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I've been Kairos, aka everybody's sad little wizard boy. I'm okay, though. Checking in above table. Always do that with your players.
Is that me? Is that
I think so.
Every
Okay,
week.
yay! Howdy, I'm Meadow. I've been Meadow, and will hopefully continue to be Meadow in the future. I have been Vlok. You can find me when I'm not being a stoned rabbit, terrified of failure, on the internet as Howdy Love Darlin or Howdy Love Darlin GM.
Hi, I'm Classic NYGM. You can find me on all social media platforms as Classic NYGM. And Hadoni is not doing well right now. We'll see you next week. Yeah.
Well, all right. I'm Taylor. I work with Justin on the So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master podcast. You can find us anywhere you find podcasts. We've also got a TikTok, Instagram. All the links are in the bio. Check it out. Patreon, all that jazz. This is, what do you even say? There's going to be a lot to unpack in the action surge today.
Hey, I'm Taylor, aka it's Maketh. I've been playing Nova, and I think I'm pretty chill over here. That was pretty chill. Everything's okay.
That whole mortal thing, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you know,
It'll
maybe
work
she
out.
needs
It'll work out. And it'll work out for all of our heroes.
Yeah.
Tune in next time to find out. See you then, gang. Freya, the Norse goddess of love and war, is here to fight.
Fuck you.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
It is definitely going to, impale V.
This is the only chance I'll give you to surrender.
Being able to potentially tell the future and reshape it. Beautiful.
And I'm going after this fucking bird.
Aw, man. How come he gets all the nat 20s and I get picked up and thrown around?
She's like, I'm sorry if you can't see in there, but I'm trying to help y'all out as much as I can.
And start getting, drone footage of the fight.
Hadoni, I'm coming!
And crawling out of it is a 9-foot, 3-headed dog.
God dang it, Daniel. You rascal!
Abandon your old gods, because we're killing them.